So let's hop right into what you are here for, which is to learn how to make doormat stencils. First, let me hide this text right quick. And then the first thing I do when I get to my canvas, I come down to my bottom left corner where it says 100% and I zoom it out to 25%, just so that when I add my shape on here, it is already zoomed out basically. So I'm going to come over to shapes. I'm going to get my pointed square. I'm going to hit the toolbar just to hide that back. And I'm going to come up here to the top where it says size, and I'm going to hit this unlock button. I'm going to change the dimensions to the size of the doormat that I will be using, which standard doormats is a 30 by 18. So I make the width 30, the height 18. Instead of having a black square here, I'm going to change it to the color brown. And I'm going to drag this doormat or square, whatever you want to call it, to the center of my screen, just so it can be right here in front of me. I'm going to go over here to text, and I'm just going to type in welcome, okay? Just my first design. I am going to keep it at the standard font of Cricut Sans, but if you want to try something else, Cricut Design Space has a lot of fonts here. You will have to either pay for it or have the free trial to be able to use any of these though. So let me hide this toolbar back. I'm going to grab from the center to bring my wording over, and I'm going to now enlarge the text just by dragging from the white square and just making it bigger like so. Now, I don't have any numbers that I use when it comes to my fonts. I just kind of eyeball everything and make sure that the height and the width of all of my wording matches up. Like, it doesn't make it look like the height is too tall in comparison to the width. So it's all about having that good eye to be able to visually see what it will look like at the end. Like, just make sure it's proportional. Like, that's really all I can say. Okay, because there's like no number that I have. So I'm going to go up here to the top where this gray square is, and I'm going to change to the color black. Okay, I'm going to put that there like so. Now what I'm going to do after I've changed to the color black, I will highlight this entire thing. I will come up to the word align, and I will hit center. Okay, now that the square and my text are both highlighted, and how we know that is because over here to the right in the layers column, we see that both of these are in green, which is indicating that they're both highlighted. We want to come down here to the word slice, your bottom right, hit slice, and then you want to click on the word welcome, drag it off. Click in there again, drag it off again. And you're left with this and two pieces of text. And this over here, we do not need. So you'll just highlight it, trash can, and you're left with this. The next step will be to add a line in our inner piece in the letter O. Okay. We're going to go over to shapes. We're going to get the same square that we started with. We're going to come up here to size and unlock it. Change the height to 0.12. And the reason why I choose 0.12 is because the line isn't too thick and it isn't too thin. Now, sometimes I do make my line thinner if the piece that I'm trying to keep in place is a smaller piece. I may go down to 0.07 or 0.05, okay? I'm going to grab this line from here on the left side, not from the white corner. I'm going to drag it over to my inner piece. You want to make sure that you start the line on the outside of this white, because the brown piece in this center is what you want to keep in place. So I'm going to go up to where it says width. I'm going to hit the up arrow and stretch it till it go all the way across and hit the brown. Okay, so you want it brown to brown. I have a lot of people making the mistake of doing it this way, like that. Doing it that way will not hold anything in place at all. You want to make sure that it starts over here in this area here and stretches over to the other side of the brown. Okay, like so. We want to highlight it. You want to come down to your bottom right, choose combine, and then weld. And that will weld that line straight across there, letting you know that that piece is basically secured now. Okay. Next thing is to slice this into 3 separate pieces because our machine isn't big enough to basically cut this in one big piece. We know that because there's a red indicator, exclamation mark, letting us know that the piece is too big. So if you ever have that or see this on the side, that means your piece is too big, okay? We're gonna come over here to shapes, get the same square, hide in the toolbar, come up here to size again. You wanna unlock it, and we're gonna change the dimensions to 11.5 and 22.5. The reason for those numbers is because your Cricut mat is a 12 by 24. You cannot make your stencils bigger than 11.5 and 23.5. Okay, so I just keep mine at 22.5 because we don't really need to go all the way to 23.5 anyways. Okay, so we have this rectangle, and I want to duplicate the rectangle. I want to have 3 rectangles on my screen. Okay, so we have 3 here, and I'm going to take one of them and come to this left corner here. I'm going to go up to the top, hit arrange, and choose send to back. Okay, now this side here on the right side is showing me where it was sliced. Let's just say I want to come into the design a little bit more. Let's say I want to come into the design about right there. I'm going to highlight it. I'm going to come to my bottom right and choose slice. I'm going to drag this over. I'm going to drag this down just to get it out the way. And there's 2 black pieces behind that brown piece that I just moved. We want to delete both of those. Move this back over so I can see it in the center. Grab me another rectangle, take it to the back. Let's say I want to slice it right here. Let's say I want to slice the O right there. Now I can do that because I have a line going all the way across. Sometimes you may try to move fast, be in a rush like me sometimes, and you can do it one-sided, where the line may start over here and end here versus going all the way across. So you may see that in a few of my stencils, that it doesn't go all the way across. It may start, like I said, here and just go in here and not come out on this side. And if that was the case, you would basically have to go back and add a line on that side to still be able to hold that right side. Okay, if that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. So I'm gonna highlight it, come back down to my bottom right, slice it, drag this out the way, pull this over, and delete both of these 2 blacks. I'm gonna use my last rectangle to put over the line because this is attached to that. I'm gonna highlight this area here. I'm gonna hit slice. I'm gonna highlight this area right here again. I'm just gonna delete it. And these are my 3 pieces. Okay, so that's how you would do it if you were just doing like a one word, like hello, welcome, goodbye, leave me alone, whatever you want to put. Now let's just say you want to do some wording and an image. This is how you would do that. You'll come back to shapes, still get that same pointed square. You'll come up here to sides, unlock it, change the dimensions to 30 and 18. Change it from black to brown. And then let's just say you want to do goodbye. We're going to do goodbye. We're going to drag it here. And let's just type in the word goodbye and see if there's any kind of image other than just text. Well, I was hoping like for a deuces is what I was really hoping for. But that didn't pop up. But let's just type in deuces. Okay, you forgot to spell deuces. That ain't what I'm talking about. Okay, y'all, we're just gonna find an image. Okay, we're just gonna find an image for the video. Let's say I want a butterfly, because in the end, you're not probably gonna do butterfly and a goodbye anyways. But let's just do that because it's an image and text. So let's just say I want to make goodbye about that big, and I want to make the butterfly like this. So remember, even if you were doing 2 pieces of text, so let's say if you did the IKYFL and the popping up here, you would still do the same process, okay? Anything that's multiple. I'm going to change it to black. I'm going to highlight this entire thing, okay? I'm going to go up here to where it says align, and this time, because I have 2 separate pieces of text or text in an image, I'm choosing center horizontally, because if I had done center, it would do that. So we're choosing center horizontally. Now what we want to do, I'm going to hit command so that I can capture 2 things basically. So I'm going to hit command, and I'm going to hit the word goodbye, and I'm going to hit the butterfly. Remember how we know that we captured what we want basically? It's green over here in layers. I'm going to come down here to combine and then weld. So let's go back to when we did welcome. So remember when we did welcome, we highlighted it, we went up to align, we hit center. And I was like, we know that we have the square and the text highlighted. Now we can just come and slice. So when you have two pieces of something, whether it's text, an image, or two pieces of text, you have to weld the design together first, or else you will not be able to slice it. So if you get to a point where you say, oh my God, my slice is grayed out, it's because something isn't welded somewhere. Okay? So I'm going to highlight this again. And just to make sure that it is in the center, I'm going to go back up to a line and I'm going to hit center. And you see it went up, which indicates that it was not in the center. Now we can go over and hit slice. We're going to drag that off. Drag that off. And we want to delete the extra text. And now we're going to work with just this. So remember, what needs to stay in place is what's in brown. If you look at this, basically what's in white will be what's in black on the actual doormat. Okay, so let's go back to shapes, get our pointed square, unlock it, change the height to 0.12, and let's start putting our lines in. Put one here. I'm hitting the up arrow on the width side. I'm going to go over here to duplicate. I'm going to use that same line to put across this O. I'm going to duplicate it again. We're going to put it across that D here, like so. Duplicate it again, but now I want a vertical line. So I'm going to hover over that white square here, turn it to a 90-degree angle. And I'm going to start it up here in the brown, going straight down till it come outside that white. Just like that, okay? So now for the butterfly. We got to add our lines for that. We got all these little small pieces all up through here and these wings, okay? So we're going to get this horizontal line first. We can just add lines just like this. Let me just get a lot of them. We can add that there. We can add that across. We can even add this there and just attach it to the bigger piece, because we already know that this piece is secured by all of this here. So if I put the line here and attach it to this, I still know this is going to be held in place, basically, okay? So I'm going to put this here. I can put that there like that. I can actually put that in there so they can, put maybe less lines. Put that there. Duplicate a few more, take it to the other side. I'm going to put this one at an angle so I can try to capture all three here. Get this like that. Do I have any more duplicated lines? No, let's get some more. Put that one by itself. Put that one with that. And I can actually just use one, make it start, and that, oops. So you see how I accidentally shifted that? That happens sometimes. Just hit the undo button. Please don't get upset, because I know a lot of people do. So I can start it in this one here, and I'm going to make it shorter. I'm by hitting the down arrow on the width side. And I'm just going to make it stick out outside of there like so. So it's still picking out. And then that's how you would do it if you was doing like a butterfly or another kind of image. You would look for brown pieces and make sure that it has something that is connected to. Because it always needs to be something connected to brown. Just like I remember with this piece here. It going straight across there, which means it's going to hold this big piece and that smaller piece. Okay? So we'll highlight all of this. We'll come down here to combine and then choose weld. And now everything is secured. Okay? Now we're going to go back to shapes, get the same square. We're going to unlock it. And remember again, 11.5, 22.5. I'm going to zoom it out just so I can see it better. I'm going to still get 3 rectangles on the screen. I'm going to get one of the rectangles, bring it here, go up to arrange, send to back. Now, with this one, I have to really examine where I want to slice it at because I might end up breaking some lines. So, in honesty, in full honesty, transparency, whatever word works best, sometimes I will put the lines at the end, like after I've sliced it. It just depends because it can get tricky here, a little bit tricky, like nothing to worry about. But it's like, let's say I slice it here, right? Let me come in a little bit more. So if I slice it right here, that means that I'm about to break this line here. I don't really want to do that because then I gotta add some more lines. I gotta do some more work. But then also it'll break off. Let me zoom in even more. It'll break off this little piece here. And it's like, I don't really want to do that. So it's like, okay, let's play around with it. Let's see where I should do it at. So I may just come all the way out of the butterfly all together, highlight all of this, choose slice. Let me zoom back out, move this over, move this out the way, delete this black, bring another rectangle to the corner. And I'm just going to try to keep my butterfly out of there as much as possible. And sometimes you have to do that just so you don't have to do all this extra work. I'm going to highlight it, slice it, move it over, and delete the two blacks. And I end up not needing this one only because I didn't come into the design as much. Like we did the welcome, I came in on purpose just to show you how to get rid of something that may be attached, to another letter or another piece I meant. So that's how you would make the stencils. Now, when you get done making it, you will go over to the word make at your top right corner. You can save it or don't save it. And then this screen here shows you how to place your poster board onto your Cricut mat. Okay. Now I will show you that next. Okay.